I'm not sleeping on the street. I'm a capable human being.
Making conscious next steps.
I'm a conscious individual.
Seeing growth really
Like,
happen.
we some hip hop niggas. Like, we don't need to vocalize it to make shit like that's what I can
I promise y'all,
12-hour day
my
type shit.
stomach broke.
Listeners, thank you guys all so much for tuning in. You're now listening to the Flyer Pop Podcast. I got some beautiful guests with me today. I got Peace. What's up, world? This is the Flyer Population Podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm your favorite host, Remy Supreme.
It's your boy, Danny O'Fay.
Get your boy Benji in the house today.
We got some very fly people with us today. How you guys doing today, man?
Doing good. We doing good.
Doing great, man. Doing great. Good to see y'all, man.
Well, we live at Fruit Studios.
Yeah, we out here.
Shout out to the homie Benji.
Studios. It's the baby right here.
So yeah, man, we're really just here to talk about what you got going on, bro. Everybody knows that we really close, but for the people that don't know, let's just introduce yourself. Tell them about what you got going on.
Word. So, everybody knows me as Jeff, Benji, whatever you want to call me, man. But yeah, this is my studio. Just built it ground up. Just trying to really start something for the area, man. You know what I mean? So we pushing it now.
Let's take it from the beginning, man. How'd you get involved with the studio, the music? Let's talk about it from the beginning. What kind of music was being played in the household and all that?
Man, a little bit of everything, man. A little bit of everything. Mostly like the R&B stuff for sure, but you know what I'm saying? Like my pops kind of had me on the hip hop early. The Ja Rule, you know what I'm saying? Well, let me backtrack. My pops wasn't always present, but like, you know, from an early age when I was, like I was saying, up until 5th grade, I was like 10. You know what I'm saying? I was back and forth at his spot. So he was every weekend, just Ja Rule, what's his name? DMX, Tina Marie, like a little bit of a mix. And then my mom was more on the hip hop side. I mean, on the R&B side. A lot of New Edition, New Kids on the Block, like old Temptations, like just old school stuff. So
what really resonated with you of those songs? I know you fuck with X a lot, right?
Oh yeah, of course, bro, of course. Nah, X is definitely the man, bro. Definitely the man. I wouldn't say because you know I was like doing a little bit of rap stuff. I wouldn't say that he like really influenced my sound per se, but definitely just like the realness, like the rawness, and like the storytelling. I could definitely say I took something from him, man.
Word. How's it been growing up in Loudoun County compared to what you witnessed through other people, through other friends from other places?
It was cool, man. It's ups and downs. It's ups and downs. I mean, Loudoun County really isn't as sweet as everybody thinks it is. You know what I mean? They hear Loudoun County, they're like, oh, the richest county is out here. But it's really not like that. Like, it's a lot of people that still are struggling just with the price of, like, how expensive it is. Because, like, you got the average people make, I think with the average, like, 110 for, like, an average household.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you looking at that, but then you thinking back, so you got these people whose household is bringing in 110, then you got single parent homes that are bringing in 40.
Right.
You know what I mean? 30
right.
to 40. And you can't really live off that out here.
Do you think that had like an impact on like you being in trouble growing up as a kid? Because that's one thing I remember, bro. You was always on punishment, always grounded.
Yeah, always. I mean, I wouldn't say that had an influence on like what I was doing. I was just fucking up. But definitely, my mom wasn't really too present either, though. For real. Like my grandmother raised me for real. Because my mom was kind of like, she stepped up to be like the father. She was always providing. So she'd dip out 7 in the morning. I wouldn't see her till 11 at night. If I would see her at all, it'd be like 11 at night. So my grandmother was kind of like my mother. She was lenient with me, you know what I mean? So she let me kind of get some leniency. Then my mom come home and just hit me with it. And then grounded 3 weeks. Like, damn. For what? Like, how many minutes late you come in today? I'm like, 3-4 minutes. She like 3-4 weeks in the house, nigga.
Damn.
And
For some minutes. Not even hours.
Straight up minutes, bro.
Damn.
Minutes. Mom's is on it.
And you usually had just got off punishment right before that. You get right back on that shit.
Get off. Next week I'm back on. I don't even know what I did. I just be looking forward. I'm like, bro, well, probably about to get grounded in a couple days.
Might as well take advantage of his free time.
Let's live it up while we can, man.
How's it been? Because I know one thing that I've noticed since the first day we met, man, you've really had like a real natural way with just connecting with other people and just making a lot of friends. Like every environment you go into, you know, anywhere you go, a lot of people know you, of course, and as well are just like comfortable and reach out to you and stuff. How does that, like, where do you think that comes from?
Just my family, man. Like even starting with my great grandmother, you know what I mean? She's like neighborhood grandma to everybody. So we've always just kind of had that like family that kind of brought people in. And I don't know, I think that's just in me. I'm used to being around people. I'm used to like bringing in a new person wasn't like new for me. You know what I mean? Or like trying to welcome someone wasn't like new to me. It's like that's what we used to do, and so I think that might be it.
Word. Let's talk about high school a little bit, man. How did you do in school?
That was trash.
Yeah.
Some trash in school, bro. That's part of the reason I was always in trouble.
Word.
Always trash, man. Because, you know, I mean, I was out in Leesburg trying to go to Heritage, and my mom pulled me, like, nah, you moving you away from all your friends, all your people. Like, nah, it's over. Took me out there, and I mean, little did she know, I just met more people. She just expanded my network, you know what I mean? So, I mean, high school was cool, though. It was different, man. Like, I felt like we definitely had more diversity growing up versus when we got, or not diversity, but like we were kind of more in like a melting pot where we were at versus when I went out to Potomac Falls, it was kind of like the black kids hung out with the black kids, the white kids hung out with the white kids, the Hispanics hung out with the Hispanics.
Yeah.
But I still kind of like blended in with everybody, made friends everywhere. But high school was cool, man. It was cool.
It's funny you said the networking thing too, because I moved around a lot too. I feel like if it wasn't every year, it was at least every 2 years. I was in a different spot.
Man. You definitely were.
But that's one thing. Like, all in all, I definitely didn't like it. It wasn't. I hated moving around so much and shit. But looking back on it, it's like you said, it expanded my network. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
I know so many people all over the place. So I guess that's a good thing about it.
For sure.
So what happened after high school, man? Like, what were you trying to do? What were you looking into?
Man, I had no clue what I wanted to do after high school, honestly. No. So I kind of was just like, oh, I'm gonna go to the military. So then. And I did a little bit of research on the military, and I was like, all right, well, Air Force sounds like the best way to go. And then my uncle was in that. My great uncle, he was in the Air Force too. So I was like, bet, that's how I'm going to make the bread. I was like, I'm going to try to be an air traffic controller. Didn't know what it was. I just seen the salary on it. I'm like, bet 6 figures. That's what I'm about to try to do. This ended up not really working out for me.
What stopped it?
Bro, I kind of got into my own head, and then I was dating this girl at the time, you know what I mean? She really didn't want me leaving, and it was kind of like combination things, and like just me being, you know, I've never really been away from home like that. So it was kind of a combination of everything.
Do you still ever think about doing it, or you just don't even care like that? No?
not the move at this point.
Nah, that's it, bro. Because at that point, bro, it was kind of like, you know, we get like programmed into thinking like this is what we have to do. You have you have to do this, or this to get money. So it's
by
like,
this age and everything,
you have to go to school, or you have to own a business, or you go to the military. It was kind of like only like 3 other options. Like I didn't realize like everything, and that's another thing about school too. Just speaking of high school, they definitely need to have more like, I don't want to say like career fairs, but like they need to have like career fairs at your school. To like give kids like an idea of what you can do,
the possibilities.
Because like people would say things, but it was kind of like doctor, lawyer. You know what I mean? Like those are like the ideal jobs. It's not realizing like there was different like marketing opportunities and like different types of sales that you can go into. You know what I mean? Because back then, I mean, maybe it's part of my ignorance and shit. It might have been part of my ignorance and like just coming from my family background, but when I think sales, I'm thinking of the insurance guy coming to my house like every month trying to sell us something.
Yeah, something
so
you don't
I didn't
even
realize
want.
like how many different sides of like sales and stuff it was. I do wish they had taught us a little bit more about that in high school.
And you told me a little bit earlier about how you guys have a plan to end up going to the schools right now to just tell them about engineering and studios.
Definitely. I mean, we're definitely, one of the biggest things was just like pushing the youth, like getting in contact with the youth, because I mean they're the next generation. Like they're the important ones. We're learning so much from them as well as they're learning from us. But like now I just see like so many more younger kids, bro. They're like 14, 13, like getting into the music. Like I have kids, bro, who group together like on a Friday night, Saturday night, they could be doing anything. They throw their money together and come in here. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a big thing to see these kids like getting involved so early. So we definitely want to, you know, we're trying to put together a program where we're going to reach out to the different schools and try to, you know, just go do demos at different schools and show like the kids, like you can make a living out of doing this. You know what I mean? So
that's a dope thing, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
So after the Air Force, after school, you ain't go to the Air Force. I was out at JMU. I know you came out there a couple times to visit me,
man.
have some fun, and then you eventually came out to Harrisonburg to live. So
I had to pull the trigger, man.
So how was the time out there, and what did that do for you to help you move to the space that you are now?
Bro, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Literally, that's just the only way to explain it. Like I kind of went out there like on a I kind of like forced myself out there, kind of, you know what I mean? Because I was going through some stuff at home. My grandmother had just passed, and you know what I mean, me and my girl had just like broken up. So I was kind of trying to escape, you know what I mean? I've always been home, like around the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. Like this is where I'm from. So I'm like, always been here. So it's kind of like, damn, something new. I'm like, oh, college, oh, they partying. So I was like, let me get away. And then, you know, I took my baggage with me. So then it was like the partying went from having fun to just always being turned. You know what I mean? I'm waking up like, yo, D, what's up? You trying to? He's like, bro, I'm going to school.
Yeah.
All right, you right. Aren't you supposed to be at work? Yeah, you're right. All right, let me just go to work. I'll catch you later. So, but man, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about people, like people that I thought were my friends. I learned about the people that were my real friends. So, I mean, it was good, man. It was a good, like, eye-opening experience.
Gotcha. So, I mean, I remember we were talking about how Harrisonburg was a tough time for you, like mentally. What was it that made that such a tough time for you? I
think one of the things, because I turned a getaway into my everyday life. You know what I mean? Like, used to be good to just get away, come kick it with y'all for the weekend, party. And then it was like I came back and I was doing that every day,
right?
Every day. So I became very stagnant.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, and like I've always been like an ambitious person. Like, and I was still even out there. Like, I'm still like finding different ways to like get money and like do whatever. But like, as far as like grow, like I wasn't growing at all. You know what I mean? Just being out there.
What made you realize that?
Man, I used to sit on the balcony and just like write. And D, honestly, too, he used to check me all the time. He'd be like, bro, what are you doing, bro?
D's
like,
quick to check.
Yeah, D was checking. He's like, bro, you're just drunk again, bro. Like you late, like you partying all the time, bro. Yeah. And I don't know, man. I was just doing a lot, bro. I got fired from my job. Still kept going. Yeah. I was like you know, had to let you go. I'm like, all right, bet. See you tomorrow. Came back. Just going back to work, bro. And they're just like, did Billy talk to you? Like, you know, we gotta let you go. And I'm like, nah, he didn't. Nah. And he's like, all right, well, how about this? We're just gonna put you on call. And I was like, okay, bet.
So you try to make them not fire you?
Yeah,
like,
bro. I was just like,
still show up for work and shit. Did they still pay you for the days after you got fired?
Yeah, I did. But then it was eventually they were just like, we're gonna put you on call. And I'm like, all right, bet. And they never called me, bro. So I was like, gotta go.
That's funny as hell.
It's crazy, man.
What was some of the biggest thing you took from that experience?
I just had to learn how to get it on my own and stop like looking at what other people were doing. Cause that was part of the thing that got me down. Like, I'm looking around and I'm like, yo, I'm really like not going. Like, all these people around me are going to school. Like, they party too, and it's dope. Like, we all out, and I'm like, but they're going to school during the day. Like, I'm not.
Right.
Like, what am I? You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing? Am I just gonna come home? If I keep doing this, we're both gonna come home. Because I'm not gonna stay there, and when they come back, we're gonna come back. They're gonna be ahead of me. That was like where my mind was at. Where I was like, dang. And then, you know, I mean, there were some other reasons I came home too. The girl I was with at the time had like gotten pregnant or whatever, so that was another reason why I had came home.
Oh, snap!
Yeah, it was like that, and then my mom's needed help. It was a lot, bro. It was a lot, but so it was just like a good trial and error period in my life, for sure.
Where do you miss it out there?
Nah, not really, man.
Dana, you miss it out there?
Absolutely not,
no,
yo.
Not really.
This is 28 now. Like, well, I was like partying with all the college
yeah,
kids.
you know what I mean?
Shit,
I don't know. You never know.
We don't have no room to miss it.
I miss high school.
Like, we lived that life, and it was fun.
Yeah,
it was
man.
definitely fun.
I feel that though. I feel that.
I mean, like, yeah, we definitely still talk about the stories. I do miss those times that we,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, it was dope, but
it was all living in the same house, turning up, bro. It was good times. Good times.
Craziness, bro. But yeah, man, I mean, life just moves on, so it's like you can't really look back on it. You know what I mean? Just gotta take what I learned from it and move forward.
Definitely. That's probably best for sure.
For sure.
But yeah, man, speaking on mental health and how you were doing at Harrisonburg, I know Kid Cudi has always been like a big influence for you.
For sure.
You know, how did that help you mentally, or what type of space does Kid Cudi put you in?
Man, it's honestly, it was just like we come from before this generation right now. Like, you know what I mean? That was us back then. So everything was different. Like, even now it was like cool. It's cool to be depressed and just people throw it around so lightly. But like, when you're going through a time when like you really don't, you know what I mean? Like, you feeling some type of way and you really don't know how to explain how you feel. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you try to tell someone, they're just like, "Oh, you're crazy." You know what I mean? When realistically, it's like, I'm just dealing with shit and I don't know how to cope.
Especially in this community. Especially in the black community.
Yeah, in our community, bro. It's just like, oh, you're crazy. Like, something wrong with you. You know what I mean?
Or man up. You know?
Or man up. You know what I mean? So it's like, when you hear like an artist that's like, okay, he's different. Like, he's talking about his feeling. And like, you know, where we grew up, it wasn't like, we ain't like grew up in the hood in Loudoun County. It wasn't like, You know what I mean? It wasn't crazy. So it's
Yeah.
like hearing another artist just talk about, because, you know, music is expression. So you hear all the time, like, the horror stories in it, like, the good stories in it, and people's music. So, like, for him to put out something I could really relate to, it was like, damn, he's going through it. Like, you know what I mean? He's talking about it. And it was the first time I had really, like, been kind of, like, introduced to that.
Right.
I mean, outside of, like, because, you know, I growing up, I used to like the rock, the alternative music as well. I listen to everything. I feel like that's a big reason why, like, my palate's so big today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I'm been exposed to a lot. But, yeah, I think hip-hop was the main thing in my life, though. And for, like, him to come and, like, kind of bridge the gap, it was crazy.
Yeah, like you were on Cudi like super early. I know me specifically, I didn't really connect with him until like Indica, and it might have been just because of what I was going through at the time or whatever it was. But once I actually did like connect with Cudi and figure out like what I've been missing the whole time, it made sense. You know what I'm saying? Especially you growing up as an only child and stuff too. I could definitely see the correlation and just how strong that connection could be. But Cudi's a fucking goat too.
Cudi's a goat, bro. Cudi's a goat, and that's many other artists, man, that I looked up to before him. But he was definitely one that, like, when it coming from like a mental perspective,
right?
Like, definitely.
Do you vibe with that sound like a lot, like that mentally? I wouldn't say trouble, but like just people who are able to say what they're thinking, like even though like it might not be the most manly thing to say or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
talk
like
on
X.
their emotions.
You know what I'm saying? So like Triple X, stuff like that. You know,
even with X, bro. Like for like years ago, I'm like a couple years ago, I'm like, yo, hey, this dude XXX is dope. Right. Kind of like, man, that emotional music. I'm like, bro. But again, you know what I mean? It's just, bro, when you're going through it in the times, bro, you'll catch a vibe, and like whatever helps you get through what you're going through, bro, that's what it does for you.
I got you.
With the struggle with mental health, at least growing up as a kid, did you notice anything that triggered you or anything?
Yeah, man. So I used to have like panic attacks and shit, like when I was a kid, but I never knew like what. I never really knew what it was. You know what I mean? And my mom and him used to just be like, his asthma, like, oh, he has like bad asthma, like he just can't breathe, his asthma.
Yeah, bro, I remember that. I remember that.
I remember the inhaler.
I had bad asthma too.
I didn't remember the panic attacks. So.
Nah, man, yeah, I would have like panic attacks, bro. I just didn't know what they were at that moment. You know what I mean?
What were they like?
Bro, just if you feel like the walls are kind of like closing in. You know what I mean? Like,
so was it asthma attacks or was it panic attacks, or were they both? You had both of them,
it would
or
be
all
like,
in one?
It would be like both, bro. Like, but it would start out as just me being flustered. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It wouldn't just be like animals being around me, because like then, bro, I went to the circus one time, but nigga, I thought I was finna die,
bro.
But, bro, just from the animals.
That's crazy.
But I would have these moments, bro, where I just start like, you know, I'm like breathing heavy, and it's just like now I'm like, it's just those feelings of being like anxious and shit like that. And yeah, man, so it was like happening for a while, for a long time, like growing up. So now I'm kind of like glad that I understand what it is.
So you found coping mechanisms, like, you know, ways to get yourself out of that?
Yeah, you have to find ways to calm yourself down. You know what I mean? I would definitely have to find ways to
Do you remember the
myself
first
down.
time it happened to you?
I can't.
Because when I think of a panic attack, that seems like almost like traumatizing a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, especially the first time as a kid, I feel like I would be fucking traumatized.
Man, it does. I ain't want to go too deep on it. Right? You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to go too deep on it right now. But yeah, man, like, yeah. I mean, it's more normal than people think, though. That's like the biggest part of it.
I definitely deal with a lot of anxiety for sure. I don't think I've ever had an actual panic attack, though. I hear about it a lot, though. This sounds fucking scary, especially if you're a kid. That's why I asked about it, but.
Word.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, man, speaking on coping mechanisms, like, you said you found ways to deal with it. Have they always been healthy ways to deal with it, or have you found that struggle to get to a more healthy place?
I mean, it started off like, it started off innocent at first, you know what I mean? Because when you're younger, you're just finding ways to deal with it. Like, you know, you go through it and like you get through it, but like I wouldn't even say healthy, because you don't really know, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I would have to just dip off by myself. Like I couldn't have like people around me. It's just literally just getting to your safe spot and just telling yourself that it's okay, and like reminding yourself and like pretty much just convincing yourself that you're gonna be all right.
That's like when you were a kid.
That's how it starts, you know, when you're younger, and then like got a little bit older, you start finding different ways to deal with anxiety. Like you start feeling anxious, like shit, I gotta go smoke. All right, let me go drink something. Let me go drink. You know what I mean? Kind of like calm my nerves, but it's like in reality, you don't need none of that shit. All you gotta do is just, you have to talk yourself through it.
Definitely.
So.
Have you ever got into like meditating and shit like that? That's a lot of what meditating is like too.
I do it, bro. I couldn't do it. I've tried it multiple times, but like my mind is just boom, boom, boom.
I mean, honestly, that's the whole objective is with meditating is controlling that. You know what I'm saying? No one is able to completely stop all that shit from happening. No one, even fucking Gandhi and Buddha and them. Like the hardest thing to do is stop your mind from going all those places. The practice of meditation is gaining control of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So don't feel bad. Don't let that discourage you from keeping to do it, because that's honestly what the whole practice is gaining the awareness of being able to quiet and calm that stuff down. It's a process, but it's worth it, man. It makes a big difference.
Nah, for sure. I'm gonna definitely have to try it again too, though, man. I think also like I just wasn't in like the best environment when I was trying it. I think that might have been because I'd just be in my room, just sitting on my floor. I got hair shit going on downstairs.
Right,
you know what I mean? So I'm just like,
yeah.
So I think that might be. I might have to try that though, man.
Yeah, I fuck with meditation, man. That's my shit. What about counseling or anything? None of that shit you ever?
I don't need counseling, man. Like, cause like not like that. Like, I have friends. You know what I mean? I have friends that I can like. I'm comfortable enough with my friends that I can confide. I can tell them these things. I can confide in them. I feel like people only need counselors when they really feel like no one understands them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like when
I don't know,
want
man.
like.
That's a tough thing to say, because there's a lot of people who have counselors who they might be like strong people and they might have people they could talk to, but they still do, right? Like let's talk about people who have hit a certain level of income that they have a counselor just to talk about their daily struggles and stuff like that. They probably do have people they could talk to, and people who relate, and people who make just as much money.
Right.
Instead of, I don't know, maybe it's a personal thing. They don't want to burden somebody with that issue.
Okay.
So that's why they go to a counselor.
I get that.
But
I get that.
I can feel what you're saying.
I get that. I should have thought that question.
No, that's all good.
Nah, but yeah, but counseling's not for you.
I don't feel like I need it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because like me personally, I don't feel like I'm going to open up to a stranger the way I'm going to open up to one of my friends.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's part of just the open relationship that I have with my friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like you do get to a point where you're like, yo, like I feel like I'm going to burden. I feel like I'm going to be a burden. I mean, like he knows, like, you know what I mean? I've had to break down to him before. You know what I mean? To be like, yo, bro, like I can't hold this shit in. Like this is how I feel. Like had to just let that shit out. But it's like I wouldn't have like met a random person and wanted to say that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. I feel like it's different for each person.
I feel like Charlamagne the God put it into perspective, because he has that whole book, the mental health like run he's been on, and he kind of put it into perspective, like, you know, you go to a doctor once a year for a checkup. What's wrong with going to a doctor to get your mind checked up? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like people check up on their body, like their physical body all the time, but you know your mind is just as important as your physical body.
No,
so
most
you know, we got to make sure that's
Most
always
definitely.
in tune and up to date.
But yeah, that definitely goes into the type of person. Just like meditation. Meditation is for you. You've tried meditation. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's just the wrong environment. I've tried meditation. It's not for me. Like there's different things that I can do to get myself in a better headspace, but it's just not for me. Same thing with counseling. Like I would never hit up my friends to talk about shit that's going on in my life, because I would feel like that's a burden.
No, definitely.
But I would definitely pay somebody $300. Because if I'm paying you $300, I'm telling you all my fucking problems. You're hearing everything. You're getting the $300 worth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like that to me is worth it. I've never done it, but it's worth it.
Right. No, and I definitely understand that too, man. I definitely understand that. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I guess like to each his own. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly what it is.
Definitely.
But yeah, man. So ending the conversation on mental health. How can you do better and leave this area better for the next generation coming up?
Man, I just gotta pass down all the positivity that I learned. Like I've met so many different people that try to kick things to me in my life, and I just wasn't in the space to listen to them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like I don't know, man. I guess just trying to connect with people, like connect with the kids at least that like are kind of like on the not only focusing on kids that are on the same page, but like when you find people that are on the same page or you see what these people want, like any way that you can help them is like really helping them. And that's why I feel like this might be my thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even if it's something that I don't know, like I'm going to point you in the right direction. Like I'm going to give you the information that I know to get to the person that's going to help you with what you need.
Yeah.
So
you're definitely passionate about it.
Yeah, for sure, man.
100%.
Bro, I've loved music,
too.
bro. Music has been my life. Like,
yeah.
Always, bro. I just always been into music. Like since a kid, like we just remixing songs and stuff like that. Like,
is that where it came from though? From family?
Yeah.
That's where the love of music
I wouldn't even say like, well, yeah. Like having my parents like introducing me to music like early is like what kind of did it for me. But like I just always took to music. Like me and my sisters, we would like have like we would make church remixes because we used to go to church, and everything, sketchy church and shit.
Sketchy church.
You know, I know about it.
Sketchy churches, bro.
You know, I know about it.
Yeah, man. So, but we would like we would be doing like little remixes like to the songs and like putting them in like church songs and stuff like that. So it was kind of like even early like training like putting words together and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like, and little things that I never thought about before, but now I'm older and I look back and I'm like, damn, we did used to do this for fun.
Yeah.
And like, this is what we used to do for fun. Like, it was music that we were doing for fun as like kids. So it's like, everything kind of like clicks growing up. You know what I mean? So.
Nah, I definitely feel that too.
Yeah, man. Bro, I remember even being like, bro, we're like 14 writing bars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
me and you, hell yeah.
Bro, sitting in the Friday night, bro, we sitting in my room, bro, just writing. Or sitting in his room just writing. So it's crazy.
It's definitely been a long time coming, man. Where would you say, like, I guess we did just kind of talk about it a little bit, but like, what really inspired you to know that, you know, being an artist or being an engineer or the music field was definitely something you wanted to do? Like, where did that aspiration come from? You say?
I mean, I've kind of like always like thought about it. I feel like a lot of people won't get up and do something until they feel like it's attainable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's how I was with the music. I was like, what are the odds that I'm going to be a rapper? Like, what are the odds I'm going to be a famous rapper and blow up? You know what I mean? It kind of like, I guess you would say like self-doubt, but it was kind of along the lines of too, like where we came from. It was kind of like, that was not going to be a main focus of mine. Like, I had to get a job, work hard, and be successful that way. Like, pursuing a rap career or something like that just wasn't, or pursuing music just wasn't like a thing to me. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't seem realistic.
When did it start becoming more real, like more tangible?
When I started seeing people, it was back 2015, 2014. Because we used to do it for fun, even to 2011, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, y'all got some shit on SoundCloud.
Yeah, when he finally
y'all
got
can go
me,
find that.
he's the
Go
first-
do the
he's first person,
Googles.
They got me on, man. But like 2015, man. And I think what happened was, so Chad's French, me and him live in Maryland. We lived in the same neighborhood. Like, you know, we were cool and shit as a homie. We were kids, and I saw his, or like, who was it? I think someone was like, yo, listen to this dude, Chaz French. I'm like, Chaz French. I'm like, Chaz, like, that name sounds familiar. And I'm like, Chaz. I'm like, bro, who's that? And I look up on Facebook, and I just put in Chaz French, because I'm like, I know this dude, bro. And so then my man hits him up on the jump, and he's like, yo, you remember Jeff Bailey? He's like, Latina's brother? And like, I haven't seen this man since I was, bro, like 9.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's like, oh, Latina's brother? I'm like, yeah. And then I just started following him. He's like, oh, tell him I said what's up or whatever. So I'm like following him and like sending random messages or whatever every now and then. Like, it wasn't like we were like having full conversation, just like, oh, what's up, bro? Like, keep pushing. And I'm just like, bro, watching this man grow, and I'm like, yo, this man's nice. And I'm like, bro, this man like used to live down the street from me when we was 9, and he could do it, bro. Like, I can do this shit too. You know what I'm saying?
Hell
It was
yeah,
kind of
'cause
like,
he
it was kind
signed
of like
a deal,
motivation,
right?
bro. It was like motivation for me.
He signed a deal, right?
Yeah, he signed now, I think, to Motown.
Word.
So like, that was just like, to me, was like, yo, this man's really doing, like, he really made it with some music, and this is someone that I know personally, like,
legit,
from like, we nigga lived down the street from me when we were kids. I'm
same
like,
neighborhood, everything.
I'm like, yo, I could do this shit too. And that's when I just started trying it, and then I realized that the artist stuff wasn't for me.
Why is that though?
Yeah,
why,
like what?
Why do you want to be an artist?
It's a lot of like me stopping myself, but at the same time, like, remember, I think we had this conversation before, where I'm kind of like, with the times changing, I just don't think that it's a fit for me.
Like the new sounds that are out.
Yeah,
like, you don't think that you would, but don't you think that you would stand out then?
But that's the thing, and that's the thing. But that's why I just don't have the real motivation to do it anymore.
That too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I was just like my sound isn't really like what's in. Like, I'm not really like passionate about rapping anymore.
Right.
Because if I was like super passionate, I'm like, yo, I'm still trying to be a rapper. I'm like, bet. Forget what all these young kids doing. Forget what the wave is. Like, I'm gonna just get in here. But now I'm just like, bro, I'm not really like super passionate about it. I'm not gonna try to jump into a market and like, you know what I mean, kind of just like discourage myself. You know what I mean? Because like, it is discouraging when I see these people like putting out their music, and like I see him like looking discouraged, and they just like, bro, like, ain't nobody rocking with it, and they're dope.
Yeah,
but people don't want to hear that sound.
I don't even know if it's that. I just think that people have a hard time finding their audience. Like they put their music out to like people who don't want that sound, and then they get discouraged.
That's exactly what it is, bro. That's exactly what it is. And like that, no, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Like, you just gotta find the audience. Like, if I'm not saying you personally, just like you said, like some of the people that you have in the studio, like if they find their right audience, like anybody can blow. Like, to me, anybody can blow. Like, anybody can. Like, there's artists right now that I'm thinking of. I'm just like, how the fuck?
Bro, that's
But I get what you're saying too on the other side, because there's artists like the major artists like J. Cole and like Logic, like all those really talented dudes get so much shit talked about them because they're too like lyrical.
Yeah.
They're in a different, like a whole different lane than what's popping right now. So
and that's what I started to feel like too. I
can see how that
I was like, I
discourages.
think my time passed, bro. I
Yeah.
think like I feel like
Right.
I feel like 2016 was like kind of like my last.
your last
That
chance.
was my last chance to slide in, bro. But other than that, it's kind of like, man, I ain't got no motivation.
I think Cole did a really good job at balancing the two, though,
Oh,
with
nah,
that
for
with that
sure,
KOD
for
project. You
sure.
know what I mean? It's really today sounding, but it's still that good substance behind it. You know?
I feel like people have always kind of like underrated J. Cole though. Like,
Definitely, I think he even underrated himself a little bit.
yeah, like I mean, you already know he's my favorite artist, but like I feel like people have always like not really wanted to give him the credit like that he deserved.
There's a lot of sides to him. Like before he dropped KOD, or maybe after he dropped KOD, he even said it himself. The reason why he made that album is because he went to a Kendrick concert and saw Kendrick performing bangers and was like, God damn, like I miss bangers, like I miss performing bangers. So he
yeah.
made an album. Like
And it was
he's
dope.
so versatile. Like you know what I'm saying?
Dope, man.
He can do that if he
Dope.
wants to.
But he was
but
just,
yeah,
he
people
was
do
just
write
giving
him
it-
off.
But he was
Yeah,
giving
definitely.
people what they needed, not what they wanted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Always.
Like that was why bro. He was giving them what they needed, not what they wanted.
Always.
So people weren't really receiving it.
Yeah,
And that's how I feel about my music too, bro. I'm like, I don't want to just be saying like, oh, da, 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 da. But then I'm like, if I, and it's kind of like a bad thought, bad mindset to have. But like, I don't want to keep putting my all into this for it to go over someone's head.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
That's tough, bro. That's heartbreaking. That's
yeah,
tough.
you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it really is, man. I'm like, cause this is like my art, this is my passion to be doing this all the time, bro, and putting it out and letting it go over someone's head. And like, I mean, but then again, I'm like, maybe it wasn't my passion if I felt that way.
Yeah.
I think you're not the only one that feels that way. I actually know. So like, I interviewed this guy named Mike G in Michigan. He's a really big musician, but he's also a promoter, and he's brought like a lot of big names to the city, like, you know, like Snoop Dogg, just a lot of big names you could say. But he told me in an interview how he has a whole project pretty much sitting, and it has like features with Scarface, with Snoop Dogg, with just
Bro,
all
that's
major
crazy.
people.
That's
But he doesn't
crazy, bro.
like Method Man's on it. I think Styles is on it. Like he had like a bunch of people on there, but he just didn't want to put it out because he doesn't think it's gonna resonate, like it's gonna fall on deaf ears type of thing.
Yeah, man.
So I can understand why
It's
that,
tough.
why you can be discouraged from that. It is crazy. It's a hard time to grow up in musically. I think I know exactly what
Cause
you're
we're right in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, we're right in the middle.
So no Benji album.
Nah, man.
Nah,
I don't
niggas
know.
is
You
getting
might-
that
you
shit.
might
We
get-
gonna
you
leak
might
that
get a
shit.
Benji-
We
you
gonna
might
leak
get a
that
Benji-
shit.
You might get a Benji mixtape. But you know, we all critic, like we the artist critics on ourselves.
Oh yeah, yeah. You look in the mirror,
Always.
you see something different than somebody else
Always,
sees.
man, always.
Yeah. But so all right, we're in Harrisonburg. We're recording off a little cheap microphone.
Yeah.
No real space.
Yeah.
What made you decide to come home, make the home studio, and then start bringing people in?
So really, what I really did, man. Rip, Eric, and them, they had like a little group, and they were rapping and everything. So I'm like, I bet this is dope. Like I started off as a supporter of them. You know what I mean? And this is still around all the time with like Chaz and all that stuff. When I'm seeing like watching this happen, like
So like
bubbling and everything,
2015,
too.
2014.
Yeah, so this is all like bubbling as well. So I'm just talking to Rip and I'm like, yo, y'all gotta start recording, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know because they came back from West Virginia and they came back home. That's what it was. They were at WU. So they came back home and it just really wasn't no place to record over here or whatever. So I'm like, all right, bet we got together, whatever. We went to go to this dude's spot and like pay for a session, and we were just like, bro, this man just charged us with 40, 50 an hour, something like that. Whatever it was, bro, we like, can you throw some like us on it? He just like, oh, that's in the mixing phase. And we're just like, bro, you about to just send us home with these raw ass tracks? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, we gonna go buy our own shit and like da 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 da. So then it was kind of like I just don't want to put my foot forward. I'm like, yo, we can throw in for it, and like we ain't really throwing for it. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna get it regardless.
Yeah.
So we got it, and then I started messing around and I'm recording this, and then I just started rapping more and everything too. So we recording. I'm just like, bro, like y'all, you know what I mean? Like let's put some stuff out, and everything just kind of got delayed. People just we just trickled down, just stopped going. So I'm like, well, I already bought this shit, man. I'm about to just start charging people for sessions. So I started there charging people for sessions. I like kind of like really got into like the mixing and mastering side of everything. I just fell in love with that. So kind of like just went from there.
So just playing. So you basically learned, or not learned, but your first taste of it was recording yourself, like recording yourself and just mixing yourself.
Yeah, recording them, recording myself.
Got you. Okay.
How long did you have the studio set up in the house?
I think I got it late 2015.
Okay.
Or mid 2015, something like that.
And you came in here what, November?
Yeah, I've been in here. Yeah, November
18, November
2 months
18.
now.
Where?
2.5 months, something like that.
So, did you use YouTube to learn?
Yeah,
Like,
man,
learn
that's
how to
it.
mix?
Everything
Yeah.
YouTube, man. Everything YouTube. And the hard part about that is like, you watch a video or you take what you can, like you write notes, whatever, but you go back and you do it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have anyone telling you like over your shoulder, like, hey, don't do that.
That's not the
Do
right
this.
thing,
That's
yeah.
like the biggest thing, like from school and
Yeah.
learning on your own. You don't have someone telling you where your mistakes are, or you might know you made a mistake, but you don't know where
Mm-hmm.
you made it.
That was
You know
my
what I mean?
next question, man. Have you ever thought about? Well, honestly, at this point, you might. Your partner's kind of like a mentor because he has a little bit more experience. But like,
Definitely,
in the
most
early
definitely.
stages, did you ever think of getting a mentor or like seeking out that type of help?
I kind of like reached out. I kind of reached out to like a couple studios to try to like get like an internship, but like a lot of them, it was like, are you already nice? Like, can you already show us that you can do this? Can you already show us that you can do that? Like, are you going to school for this right now? So it was kind of like tough getting into it. And
Yeah.
like, I remember I hit up this dude in DC, and he just kind of like, I ain't gonna pay you. Like that was just the first thing he said. And it kind of like to rub me the wrong way,
Right.
turn me off. But he ended up being like one of the biggest dudes I follow now, man. Like I should
Word.
have just took that opportunity.
Oh,
when
wow,
I-
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I needed it at the moment because I had to get the bread, you know what I'm
I feel you.
saying, for everything at home and everything. So I had to bring money in. But now, yeah, he's one of the dudes I look up to in this mixing stuff. His name's Kalen.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is that the District Sound
District
Labs?
Sound Lab, yeah,
Word,
yeah.
word.
Yeah, he's dope, man. He's been doing a lot of stuff for up and coming artists in the area.
Gotcha.
He's messed with like a lot of bigger artists as well. So it's a lot of dudes out there, man, that are nice on this newer sound.
While we're on that topic, let's talk about some of the engineers that you look up to, some that you maybe model yourself after a little bit.
Definitely say Kalen, Alex Toomey, Mixed by Ali. Mixed by Ali, he does a lot of like I think pretty much all the Kendrick,
TDE
Kendrick
shit,
stuff.
yeah.
Like TDE. I know he's worked with a couple other people, but he's dope. He has that sound on lock. Alex Toomey, he's done a lot of stuff to where it's just like this new like wave sound, like that new wavy sound that Travis Scott.
Okay.
He did like Days Before Rodeo, I think. Rodeo, maybe.
That's
I think
crazy.
he was did some stuff on those.
That's a stamp right there, then. That's all
Jeffrey,
you need.
he did like a lot of thug stuff, so it's kind of like he has like that sound on lock. He did some stuff with A Boogie. He just did that new Gucci, the
Word.
Gucci and McConan John. Like it's just too many to even like name. I'll probably miss the bigger ones.
Yeah.
So those dudes are kind of like the newer ones that I kind of been like really looking in on.
And I think we kind of talked about this like the other day too, man. It's just important. I feel like it's more important, especially nowadays, for us to talk about the guys like the engineers and the guys that don't get heard about because they don't get enough credit. You know, who's to say maybe they get paid enough to not get the credit? Who's to say or
Bro,
whatever?
the engineers get overlooked, bro.
Yeah.
When I tell you,
Yeah.
they get overlooked because it's like you bring your favorite artist into the booth and just let him go by himself. And bro, when that shit comes out, you're gonna be like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
especially with all the effects that everybody
I'm
uses, all the
trying to
auto
tell
tuning
you,
and
man.
everything.
So much processing goes into these vocals and
Yeah.
stuff now. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So you could be a shit artist, but if you got a good engineer,
Oh, bro.
they might size you, put
Bro,
you out there.
You remember when fucking what was that song came out? That How to Love came out. That Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
joint?
Yeah.
Bro, you know how much they had to do that man's voice to get him to sound like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or even just as far as like live fucking concerts and shit.
Yeah.
Like the engineers are behind that, tweaking all of that.
Yeah, like
You know what
Travis
I mean?
Scott's mic. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. The engineers
Right.
are tweaking all of that. Even just like, bro, the singers and stuff like that. You hear some of them, they not gonna sound like, you know what I mean? It's a couple. It's very few, but like, yeah.
Word. Let's
engineers do a lot.
talk a little bit about like the experience of like learning clients and dealing with clients and stuff like that. What has that experience been like for you?
It's been a big transition, man. Because like, I mean, especially like starting out, it was mostly just friends.
Right.
You know what I mean, we were just friends that were coming over to do stuff. So you know, they not on time and this and that and this and that, and then just going from doing stuff in my home studio to, you know, having an actual business now. It's like I had to cut ties and tell people like, look, like this, you know, it's no discounts, it's no this, it's no that. Like this is my business now. You know, what I mean, you can't just show up late and expect to, you know, book a 2-hour session, show up late, and still expect to get 2 hours.
Right.
It's like no, like you have to book more hours if you want to get that. So that's been like one of the biggest things, just kind of getting people to understand that it is a business. Like the people that I would previously work with.
Word.
Like new people, a lot of new people coming in, on point with everything. Like everything is good.
Yeah, you said you had someone find you on Google or something that was like a Middle Eastern female singer or something like that.
Yeah. It was crazy, man. That was real crazy. Yeah,
she was like a pop star in like the Middle East or something, right?
She's doing a thing in I think India.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
it's wild.
First couple weeks of the jump being
it's
open.
Wild, man. It's wild. Yeah, we had another sign artist. I don't know if I'm allowed to say his name out. Like I don't know if they're putting that out there yet, but we had another sign artist. He's only like 16, man.
Oh yeah.
That just goes to show like how young they starting, bro.
Yeah.
This man's 16, so
that's
it's
tight.
dope. It's dope, bro. It's dope.
That's major. What would you say like what would be an example of a perfect client for you?
A perfect client is someone that is ready to invest in themselves. Someone that's taking it serious. That's just a perfect client. Because those are the people that take it serious, they're coming on time. They're having their money up front. You know what I'm saying? They like kind of do their, I don't even want to say do their homework, but like they know what they're doing. See, I don't even want to say that because like there's a lot of people that come in and they have no clue what they're doing, but like they're still good clients.
Yeah.
But like I have people that know like, hey, look, these are the beats I want. This is this and this, this and this, this and this, this and this. Versus like the people that come in and kind of just like, I don't know what I want to do. Let me just do this. Let me just do this. And there's no problem because it's like it's
more
their time
for you.
It's their time.
Yeah.
But when they want to linger around after that and like, but I didn't get started rapping until this, and it's like, bro, your session started here. You know what I mean? He's like, but I didn't really figure out what I wanted to do until there. I'm like, nah, that's not the way it works, brother.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, perfect client is just someone that comes in just ready to get to work, and you know what I mean, knows when to leave.
Word.
What made you think that you needed this space? What made you feel like you needed to grow out of the home studio?
I mean, for one, it was like just because it's in my home. Like, you know, when you're not just dealing with your friends anymore, you know what I mean? You get a random call. You have never had an interaction with this person before, never even heard this person's name before. So it's like you always want to bring that to your home. You know what I mean? So that was like one of the things. And plus just having equipment there. Like you never know what the next person's mindset is. If they come in, they see something that they wanted, then that's just like, that's my home space. You know what I mean? It could just as easy happen here too in a business, but
especially if they don't get all the studio time that they wanted.
You know, it's different. It's different with your home, but it's also people feel in a more professional environment. People feel like they have to, you know, conduct themselves more professional.
Definitely,
yeah, very true.
That was a big thing.
Probably helps them take their craft more seriously.
Yeah, man, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. So,
Yeah,
getting into a space was definitely critical.
But yeah, speak on that. Speak on how you found this space, how you literally built this from the ground up. You know, put walls
man.
up, like
man.
did electricity, you know,
Yeah,
like
we did
everything. Like speak on that, man. Like that's real big.
Yeah, so actually, I found this spot because one of my friends from high school, one of my big homies from high school, he found out that I was engineering. So he's like, yo, my boy, like, you know what I'm saying? He got this spot and he just don't ever really be in here. He don't ever really use it. So, you know, he always just let us come through and just record. So I'm like, bet. So, you know, so I would come through and just like engineer for him. And that was cool for me because like, that was my first time kind of like getting put on that spot. Like, yo, come to the studio for us and come like do this work. Cause he already had it set up. He had the booth built and all that stuff. He had the equipment. So I was kind of like, oh, damn. So y'all gonna pay me to come to your spot and like work? It was like, bet. So I would just come over here, just do work for him, and then, you know, unfortunately, I don't know what the situation was, but he ended up letting his studio go. So then I would just still, you know what I'm saying, just working out of my house, but I'm just getting a little bit better over time. And then, so now I was like, all right, yo, I remember that spot. And I'm like, it's time to make a move. I'm like, I remember that spot. Like, I think the prices had to be good, so I just came over, just negotiated with him, got the cheapest price I could, pretty much found like the worst room, and just made it the best room.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely don't look like the worst room.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Now
man.
we started from the ground up, put in the floors, painted the walls, you know, did some electrical work, built the booth, got everything rolling. So
how's that feel? Like when you sitting in here right now, like
it feel good. It feels good, bro. Especially
like,
just
to
looking
know.
back.
Fruit
You know
Studios
what I mean?
above you.
Fruit Studios above me. I mean, it's still got a lot of work to do, man. But I mean, it's my first studio for real. You know what I mean, so.
Built by hand, like that's gonna be a crazy story in like 5-10 years. It's gonna be a crazy story.
I'm saving all the pictures and everything. Man,
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
And salute to you on this, man, too. Like,
Yeah,
as your
appreciate
homies,
it,
bro,
man.
like, this
I
is super
appreciate it.
motivating and super inspiring for me to keep pushing what I got going on. And,
I
you know,
appreciate
just,
it, bro. I appreciate
it's
it.
really admirable, for real. Especially doing everything from your hands, man. It's a dope thing.
Right.
Big salute, bro. Tip my hats and all
Thank
that.
you, man. But I had dudes like y'all to keep me motivated throughout the process, man. Like, that was the biggest thing, man. For sure.
We're talk about your partner Russ. He's like considered the head engineer here.
Yeah. So Russ is like, I'm the owner. owner operator, whatever you want to call it. But Russ, yeah, he's the lead engineer. He's the one taking the majority of the sessions. I still have like another job outside of this, so I do that full time.
Yeah.
And I kind of come over here in the afternoons, kind of pick up whatever he can't take or whatever for right now.
How'd you guys link up?
Well, he actually back when I was rapping, I did a song. I got a feature from one of his best friends. So we kind of like did like a collab on the mixing. I mixed my half. He mixed his half. He threw in some like extra sauce. I threw some of mine on it. So we kind of linked that way. So it was already like we already had like a click right there. Like, and then he came out. We did a show together. I think it was like June, July, maybe like July.
I wasn't there
they
for
did
it,
a show.
right?
Yeah, you came. Remember? And I just hosted it. I hosted the show.
The Epicure?
At Epicure.
That was like August.
August
or September. It was late
Yeah,
summer.
like
Late
August.
summer.
I knew it was one of those. But so he DJ'd and I hosted. So then we linked up there. We talked. Then O told him like, "Yo, Jeff's trying to open up a spot soon." And then he happened to be coming back from Richmond at the studio he was working at. So it just worked out perfectly. He waited around for like 2 months while I got everything together, man, and then just came together at the right time.
Stars literally aligned.
Yeah, stars literally aligned.
That's fire. That's a dope story. He seems like a dope dude. He's talented as hell too, man.
He's talented. Yo, y'all go follow Rusnik Music on Instagram. I can't even remember what the group that he has is called.
The Hate Collective.
The Hate Collective.
Shout out to them.
Jump into it, man. They dope, man. They got some good artists coming out. Shout out O as well, Orion, TTG.
Yeah, stay tuned for our episodes with them. We're definitely gonna have a sit down conversation with Orion and Russ both,
sure,
and try to get the whole Hate Collective on here if we could. They got a lot of
man.
talent.
No, they're dope. They're dope. It's a lot of talent around the area.
A lot of
too,
potential.
man.
Definitely.
A lot of talent.
Yeah, speaking of the Hey Collective, I know you said they got an artist who is probably like one of the most interesting dudes that you've ever encountered.
One of the most interesting, awkward people I've ever met. His name is actually Awkward Shaman.
Fucking
that fits.
Nah, but yo, he's mad cool dude, mad talented, bro. He just, when you think of like Awkward Shaman, you think of Awkward Shaman. But he's super talented, bro. Like, just down to earth dude. But his stories, man, like Russ I always had Russ hyping him up to me. So
Yeah.
I already had like high expectations of him.
Yeah.
And I mean, I already liked the music that he was doing, but like some of this stuff that he has now coming out.
Like it's not out there yet because I gave him a listen, man. He has a really good voice,
Just
really
cooking
good
up,
voice.
they're cooking up. But now, bro, the stuff he has now, he turned up a notch.
It's completely different, man. I was actually blessed with the opportunity to sit in on a session. I think it was like last weekend or something, and yeah, he's fired, bro. And I said it the other day, like he's like a mix of like Sampha and Sir from TDE. I don't know if Jeff didn't agree, but it's the newer stuff.
The newer stuff, I get it. I get it.
The newer stuff is a lot different from the older stuff.
I definitely get it.
But he's talented, man. I'm really excited for what him and Russ are about to drop.
Man.
They got like a whole project coming out.
Dope. I definitely want to hear Russ singing on some more stuff.
Me too, man. Me too.
Russ can
yeah,
sing?
Bro,
yeah, man.
Oh,
he produces.
Young Drizzy.
oh,
This man makes beats. He engineers. He writes.
DJs,
he writes
yeah,
songs,
everything,
DJs,
man.
Yeah, he
That's
does
what's
everything,
up.
man. That's what I'm saying. He was definitely an asset to the team, man.
Nice.
Glad to have him over here.
who's somebody that you want to collaborate with? Like who's? All right, well, let's break it down 3 ways. Who's somebody who's underground that you want to collaborate with?
Are you talking like someone like already kind of like in motion? Like
Nah, I mean
someone already-
completely underground. Like you say the name, nobody knows who you talking about.
Yeah, somebody you just fucking with.
I'm trying to think. See, since I'm not really an artist anymore, like I don't really.
But not even collaborate with as an
But
artist,
just-
like
I
just
wanna
as an
work
engineer.
with-
Yeah,
just
somebody you
wanna
want to work
work
with.
with.
Yeah.
Get him into this too.
I mean, even still, man, I would love to work with Chaz, of course.
Yeah.
Just because, like, that's just man old. Like, you know what I mean? Like, knew this man when I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
Him making moves, I would definitely love to work with him. I mean, it's just a lot of artists out here that I love. I kind of like work with everybody. It's no
Yeah.
one like specifically that I want to work with.
Word.
How about up and coming, like somebody who's like they on the scene. Some people know their name. You know, they got more clout.
Bro, I would love to work with like Smino, JID.
Whoa.
That's who.
Whoa.
That's like the music I'm listening to,
Yeah.
man. Smino, JID.
I think Smino got a show out here soon.
In May.
Yeah,
Already,
that's
already
what I'm
cop
saying.
tickets.
I'm in.
Tickets
I'm
just
in.
came out today.
Oh,
We
did
got the
they?
pre-sale,
Oh, man,
Jones.
I might grab
Y'all
them
gonna have
too.
to pull up.
The Hoopy
Yeah, hell yeah.
Nah, he's dope, man.
Hell yeah.
Who y'all listen to right now?
Me?
Yeah, who y'all listen to right
Shit. Future just dropped today.
Future's
That joke
dope.
was
Future's dope.
not that bad.
Future's dope.
Yeah, JID, man. I'm gonna listen to JID.
JID is super fire.
Fire, bro. Earth Gang.
Earth Gang, let's say
Yeah,
Earth Gang. You
Earth
put me
Gang.
on the Earth Gang.
But it's all like the same type of, you know what I mean?
Sound,
It's like that
same
little.
wave.
Blueface. I'm bumping that nigga hard.
Are you?
I'm bumping Blueface hard.
I have not given him the time of
yeah,
day,
I'm
man.
fucking with my nigga Blueface.
I'm not bumping him heavy, but I did like he has like a hook on that. In the studio.
That's the
I
only
like that.
joint.
I like
That's
that. I
the
like
only
that.
joint.
Yeah, I like that. I like
That
that.
Tatiana go
people
hard,
like
bro. He
that,
got mad jumps.
That his offbeat flow, like
Yeah.
it's hard to get into. Like it's not even crazy offbeat either.
Yeah.
But it's just hard to get
It's
into.
different. It's
that
real
Cali,
different.
It's that Cali stuff, bro. Like that E40 like started it back in
Yeah.
the day. Mac Dre and all of them.
Uh-huh.
But
I think what
It's a
made it
different
easier
level.
for me to connect with him was because I'm so used to Currency. Currency has a similar like flow to his raps. Like he's offbeat. Like he'll rhyme. He'll instead of rhyming with
but it's not
with the
that
drum,
steep, though.
he won't rhyme with the drum or whatever. Like he'll rhyme with like the piano playing or something like that. Or like he'll
Right.
the matching of the tempo would be with the piano instead of the actual bass and shit.
But I think it's different, bro. It's kind
For
of like
for
fitting-
Blueface is completely
because
different.
it's
Yeah,
fitting
like,
too many words into like.
yeah.
It's like the Cali. It's like the Cali vibe. Though.
Definitely.
Even like when T Grizzly came out, I thought he was like from Cali.
Yo, he's a. If you listen to his sound, he's Cali, but
Well-
his name's Detroit.
But-
Like
well,
Detroit,
Detroit
or
is
some
hell.
or something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, Detroit and Cali are like sisters. Like,
Nah, bro.
Not
Sound wise,
yeah, trust me, bro. If you listen to a lot of Cali or Detroit music, you're gonna swear a lot of those people are from Cali.
Nah,
That's just a Detroit thing.
Royce-
a lot of people from Detroit.
Like,
are
I'm
from-
talking
I
like
feel like
big, I'm
it's a
talking
newer-
like big Detroit names.
I feel like it's a
nah,
big
we're not.
Detroit names,
That's
nah.
mainstream. We're talking about mainstream. We're talking about Detroit.
I feel like it's a newer.
And that's where T Grizzly came from. Like he's from like the streets of Detroit. If you listen to a lot of Detroit music, you won't think you listen to some Cali shit because a lot of people from Cali moved to Detroit. Ask Snoop Dogg about this shit. He talk about it too.
Maybe, man.
Trust me.
maybe.
Trust
I don't,
me.
That's the only person that I can feel.
Yo, T's dope. T
He
is
is
dope.
hot.
He's raw,
hot.
but you know how he be like throwing words in and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I thought the same thing though. For real, I definitely noticed how similar. Even Grand Rapids, like some like hood Grand Rapids nigga have like there's like a Cali feel to it because there's just like a there's just like a background.
cut him with your buttons when he's rolling out.
What?
That's how bro. That's what I be saying. I get discussion in the busting and the rolling out. So they got to settle with this stuff in the mouth, bro. That's how it is, bro. That E40, bro. Bro.
So, but real quick though, real quick.
Listen to Young Busco. Listen to Young Busco, bro. That
Man,
is
rest in peace,
That's how
bro.
Busco sounds.
Rest
bro.
in peace, Busco.
He
Yeah,
was
he
rapping?
was the greatest.
Nah,
Yeah.
when he be like
okay.
be
He
joking.
used to freestyle and
but that's
shit,
exactly
man.
how. That's what I think of when I hear Blueface, bro. Listen to a Busco freestyle.
Okay.
Busco's
So all right.
hard
So
as
who's
fuck.
mainstream that you would want to collab with that you fucking with hard?
Mainstream. I would want to link with Pusha T.
Oh, okay. Because he from the area? Because he
Bro,
VA
I've
or just fuck with him hard?
I've always loved Pusha's music, bro. And like
Okay.
he stayed consistent to his sound, but it didn't take anything from him. That's how I feel on my end. Like, cause you know,
Explain
a lot of,
that.
I feel like, bro, he's always had it's the same dope boy flow. Like,
Yeah,
the beats
definitely.
have been consistent. I mean, like he kept up with the times. I feel like he kept up with the times, but he didn't fully like switch. You know what I mean? Like,
You're 1,000% right. That's one thing that everybody gives him slack for is that he still talks about rap or selling crack and shit. Like that's all he ever raps about is selling crack and shit.
I mean, but then people don't mind these young dudes that are talking about the guns and this and that,
Right.
this and that. When it's like they ain't doing that either,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Nah, people. Yeah, I know what
But
you mean.
nah, but I get
People
it.
are just
I
giving him
feel
shit because it's been so long, and like like you said, he's kept it consistent. He hasn't switched up and like
Yeah, bro, I
done
feel
anything
like-
else.
But I feel like he's still good though.
He's still relevant.
like,
He's
you
still
know what I mean?
fire for sure.
Yeah, like if Snoop Dogg drop a new album, like how many people?
That nigga did
worldwide-
drop an album last year. He dropped a gospel album.
Oh, okay, it's a gospel album.
Yeah.
But like, I don't feel like he got his style. I don't see that really like still flowing.
Popping off.
I don't see it still flowing with the, you know what I mean, where it's pushing. He's dropping albums. He's still like kind of flowing with the times,
Yeah.
though.
I feel like that kind of goes back into the conversation we were just having about Cole. Like, he's for the times, but for a certain generation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, we can still keep up with him, but like, I don't know. I don't talk to too many people like real young, but like, let's say if I'm talking to like a 16-year-old, if I go to high school or something, be like,
Right.
were you fucking with Push's last album? They'd be like, huh, Pusha?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how my
Like,
little brother is.
That's crazy to think
Yeah.
about too. Like so, like 25 and younger probably isn't listening to Cole
don't know
and
about
and
25.
Pushing.
I said
25 's too out?
like 21,
20?
yeah, 20 and younger. Nah,
That's interesting. Interesting.
but yeah, man. So
but Pusha, I would definitely love to work with Pusha. Andre 3000.
He was just featured on James Blake album. Shout out to James
Shout
Blake.
out, shout out,
Jones
shout
just
out.
dropped today. Go check
Shout
that out.
Shout out. trying to think of who somebody else mainstream. I mean, Cole, of course. Like I just didn't even say that.
Goes
like,
without
bro,
saying. Kid
that's
Cudi.
that's number one. Cut. You know what I'm
Goes
saying?
without
Like
saying.
and bro, I would still love to sit down and have a conversation with Kanye right now.
Of course, Kanye's a
Still
smart
love to
dude,
sit down and
bro.
have a
Smart
conversation
dude.
with Kanye, bro.
Smart
Yeah,
dude.
Kanye.
honestly, I would collab musically with like
Oh, bro,
anything.
like, bro, like those.
he be doing some wild shit, but other than that, I want to
Bro.
know. I want to know what's inside dude's mind.
Bro, he's on a different wavelength, bro.
Who's someone that no one would expect though? Because you mentioned earlier about having like a little bit of alternative and rock influence in your music too. So who's someone that no one would expect that you would want to like fuck with, even just have a conversation with, a sit down?
Let me see, man. I'm trying to think of someone that no one would like really expect.
Because I remember you used to like what was that one group? Sway something.
Swayze.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nah, they had a vibe, bro. They had a vibe, bro. It was just some good music, bro. Just some good
Gym
like,
class heroes and shit. You were on them niggas
bro.
early as fuck.
Yeah, bro. Gym class heroes, they were dope. Shout out to Travi on that jump. Bro,
I had to go there. I immediately had to go there.
But nah, bro, like I don't know. Oh, Wayne, of course. Like I would love to sit down with Wayne.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of someone that no one would like really expect. Like I don't think I really have like a single person like in particular.
Word. If it pops up, throw it up later.
Nah,
Throw it
for
up
sure,
later.
man, for sure.
Who would you say was or has been like the biggest influence in your life and in the work as far as engineering goes? Let's separate the two, one for each.
You said as far as like the
engineering and the music, like who's the biggest influence as far as your music career goes, and then just as far as life, like who influences you most?
I mean, honestly, as far as the music career goes, I would probably say like J. Cole, because like even like when I started rapping, like when I take it seriously, that's kind of like the type of music, like that was like the sounds I was looking for. When I'm going on, I'm looking for like J. Cole type beats.
Word.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he did something for me around like just the times of me just going through like different things, bro. Just like his music was definitely kind of, you know what I mean? I don't want to say like uplifting, but it was kind of like
Inspiring.
yeah, it was like inspiring, like give you something to like look forward to, you know what I mean? Like, because he used to preach the messages of like growth.
Yeah.
So that was definitely like a big thing for me.
What about life? You got any role models that you say you look up to?
I mean, bro, my mom's, you know what I'm saying? My mom's, bro, she took on the role of like a mother and a father, you know what I mean?
Shout out to Tanya, man.
Yeah,
she
shout
a
out to
real
T,
one.
man. She kind of molded me into, you know what I mean, who I am right now. So most definitely, that's
Word.
like the first person that pops up, man.
What keeps you going every day right now? Besides your mom, what would you say? Like, what keeps you motivated to wake up every day?
Go to work and then come
Come
do this
here,
too.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Two hustles.
Bro, myself.
Oh, shout out to myself.
Bro.
Yo, hey, for real, like Snoop
like
Dogg said,
that, yeah.
like I thank me, I love me. Like shout out to me.
Nobody, hey, y'all know Guap Dad?
Yeah.
Bro, that
4,000.
nigga's hilarious.
Yeah.
He was like, what do you say? Shout out to me, because nobody does you better than I. Like, bro, like that's just how you gotta be now,
Yeah.
bro. Like, I mean, it sounds selfish, bro, but like,
Nah.
bro, that's what got me out of my slump. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Who am I gonna keep doing shit for, bro? When you start doing stuff for everyone else, bro, you'll drive yourself crazy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You gotta make time for yourself.
That's
Gotcha.
powerful.
That's the reason I still do this, because if I wanted to just do for my family, bro, like I would go to work and come home, or I would go to work some other random job or whatever, come home to my family, or like my family just need my time, I would go to work, come home, and just be with my family. But like, nah, this for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I do everything else I do for y'all, but this is what I'm gonna do for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause there's a million other things I could have picked to make money, but like, this is shit I like to do.
yeah.
Shit I like.
Kind of random, man. But have you thought about like your kids and maybe passing this on to them? Do you think you would want to?
Yeah, man, I would love to get my kids into the music,
The engineering and stuff, yeah.
You know what I mean, why not? I mean, it's always like a do it. I want you to do whatever is gonna make you happy. You know what I mean? Just because I've learned from growing up. But I would definitely like if I had kids and they were like interested in like the music, bro,
Rapping.
bro. Yeah, I'm pushing it.
Where
Pushing it.
That'd be
Like,
tight.
if
I'm about to say the father's an engineer. Like
it would be
that's
perfect, but some
exciting.
people would be against it.
That's
Some,
exciting.
some people would hate it.
bro. I mean, it depends on how they are, like how
Yeah.
they, you know what I mean, how they approaching it. If they something they taking serious, because bro, you know how many people approach me, just approach me to, oh, you rap, oh yeah, I'm trying to be,
Yeah.
I'm an aspiring artist,
Bro, how many people I've
but
met
I
here?
don't never book sessions, I don't ever really write, or when I do get invited to come to a session, like I don't show up. You know what I mean? It's
So what
like,
you talking about? People don't write. There's no need to write. Just get up in the booth and start freestyling.
bruh, I'm just saying,
All
like,
day.
people just don't really be
That's definitely
pushing-
how music
people just don't
sounds.
push their mind on the artistic level.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, it's one of the things that we've had a conversation about recently. Like me, like I guess I'm super old school. I like lyrics. Like I'm always gonna enjoy a lyrical artist. But like sometimes I fuck with the vibe. Like niggas, it's a vibe. Like that's all it is. Like the music is just a vibe.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
And a lot of people love that
Right.
shit. Like they
Most
don't.
definitely.
I think it was Tory Lanez recently. He just said like niggas don't give a fuck about lyrics at all. Like they care about the vibe, and it's very true. Like I'm noticing more and more. Like I think there's some music I just can't do. Like I just try to listen to Bad Baby, the little girl.
Yeah, this nigga's
recently.
been pushing her on me. Look.
Right. Oh shit, nah, my nigga. But this is the thing I'm telling you. But this is what I'm telling you, bro. Like, and trust me, I was never gonna be like I'm backing it. But I'm just saying,
Nah, nigga, you
you
backing
cannot.
that shit.
No. I was never saying but bro, you cannot tell me that. This little girl, she might not even write her shit.
And
But if she
that's
is,
my whole
but
argument
if-
right there.
If
She's
she
not.
is,
That's a matter
but
of
that's what I'm
fact. She
saying.
is not.
That's what I'm saying.
That doesn't matter too much anymore. Drake
No,
already
but I'm just
dispelled
saying.
that. Drake said it doesn't matter.
But it just takes away. But
It doesn't
I
matter.
think in her specific example, it takes away her credibility as a musician,
Why?
and as an artist. Because
Why?
what is she even creating? She's just using her voice at that point. Drake, I'm sure, has some sort of creative
Yes.
control
All right,
and like
I'm
his
sorry for
creativity.
saying that. My bad, Drizzy. but honestly though, like who cares? Like you're talking about shit that people don't care about. Like
As a-
pop artists, they don't write their own songs.
Right.
Ever.
She is the new wave of hip hop. The new wave of hip hop might as well be pop at this point.
I heard Cardi don't write her own.
I
shit.
guarantee
doesn't.
she don't.
She doesn't. But this is the thing. Like I feel like there's a difference. Like Bad Baby, I feel like she like becoming a rapper was handed to her. That's not something she
No, it
even
wasn't.
necessarily cared
No, it
to
wasn't.
do. Like it was
No, it
something like
wasn't.
her manager was like,
she
"Oh, we about to
turned
start
it-
writing
she
music
came up
for
in the
you."
right time.
Exactly.
She capitalized on
but
that.
Her management.
Exactly.
She capitalized on
She took
opportunity,
Dr.
bro.
Right.
Phil.
I
She
respect
took
it.
the crazy turn up girl on Dr. Phil and turned it into a fucking career, making millions. I don't give a fuck
Bro,
about her music,
But this the thing though, bro.
but she's smart, or the people around her are smart.
Definitely. But as from a music, like a fan of
But you
music
can't
space,
sit here, bro, and say that some of this other trash music that is going around, like I'm gonna listen to what she's saying over. Well, let me back up. Some of this, like the last song she just put out, I'm gonna listen to that.
the Tory
over-
Lanez one.
over fucking bro. Just these niggas just really, like literally completely saying nothing. Just like the other.
Holland is, bro. Like you can tell that nigga was passionate about it. Like he's he's actually
What's that
creative and
joint?
shit. Holland is this nigga that No Jumper was putting on.
Bro.
The song was pretty
name is
hard.
Holland?
I can respect her, bro,
Holland is Holland and then IZZ. Holland.
but I could at least respect the like. I don't want to say like intricacy in her flow, but like she's really spitting. Like it still takes some skill, bro, to literally come
yeah.
through and go through the bars like that.
I
Bro,
remember listening to people that you've recorded who literally like they can't, like she can formulate and stay on beat.
Bruh.
There's some people who like, and Blueface is off beat on purpose maybe.
Right.
There's some people who just can't do it at all.
So that means you're a good musician because you can stay on
that's
beat.
it.
That's what it sounds like.
No, I'm saying I respect this. Me personally, I will respect listening to that over, bro. Even like Lil Xan and shit like that, bro. Like maybe I didn't listen to enough for the good songs or whatever, but like I'm gonna respect someone that's actually like rapping and it's kind of like a bop. I'm gonna respect that over. Bro,
All right, man. Off a Bad Baby for real. Let me please let's get back to
Hey, cause y'all
We could do
fucking
this
up-
all
y'all fucking
day.
up my reputation
We
right
could do
now.
this all
Y'all fucking up my reputation right now.
Nah, nigga, you back Bad Baby. You back.
Yeah, you
Y'all
said that
fucking up my
shit.
reputation.
All right, so real quick, where do you see Fruit Studios next year? Like we're gonna break this down into 3 points. Where do you see Fruit Studios next year?
I see us here, right here in this building. But I see us just taking it to a different level, man. I see us getting more involved with the
Okay.
community. I see us bringing more people in. I see us buying more equipment, just moving more. You know what I mean? I definitely want to get into a bigger space, but I kind of want to. I want to see what we can do off of this.
Right.
And this is just because like I'm taking pride in it at this moment,
Yeah.
bro. Like
Hell yeah.
I built this with my hands.
Hell
Bro.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? So
So
we're
then-
definitely gonna move to a bigger space. I'm gonna keep this one.
So then 5 years. 5 years. You thinking the new space is gonna happen by then?
Man, I say less than that, honestly.
Okay.
I say less than that. I give us 2 years.
Okay. So what do you
years,
see
have a-
Fruit
have a
Studios in
bigger
5
space.
years? What do you see of it?
In 5 years, I see a bigger spot here, a bigger location here.
In this area?
I want a Studio A, Studio B. Even if I don't use this for recording, we use this for strictly podcasts or whatever, or like if voiceovers in the booth, or like taking pictures or whatever. Like I want to keep this spot just because I invested in this. Like my first joint, it's kind of like the little baby you just cradled. So I'm gonna keep this. I want to have another spot, and like I was saying, I plan on moving somewhere. So what I want to do is build up another as well. So
Nice. And then what about 10 years? That's a long shot, but what can you imagine?
10 years, bro. I'm trying to have a label together.
Yeah.
I'm trying to have different artists that we putting on. I'm trying to have partnerships with the schools, bro. Like,
Damn, that'd be fire.
I want to have partnerships with the schools to bring the music classes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
There.
That'd be fire.
I want to, like I'm saying, I want to influence, bro. That's my
Man.
biggest thing. And it's going to take me away from like the actual engineering.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because at that point, that's running a business.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not being an engineer.
That's what
corporation.
and that's what I'm trying to move to, man. That's what I'm trying to move to. You know what I mean? So
That's a beautiful thing, man. You got
See.
Flyer Pop support.
thank you, man. I appreciate it.
What's one song that's on repeat? We've been talking about a lot of artists, but what's one song that's repeat over and over again?
I got a couple songs that's on repeat. I'm still listening to Hereditary by Jid.
Okay.
JID. Still listening to Hereditary. It's one of my young boys from out here, man. Shout out to Friday Night. I'm listening to Friday Night song right now. Oh God, on repeat.
Okay.
I don't think I heard of him.
He's the one I showed you earlier.
Okay.
I'm listening to him on repeat. Actually, let me pull it up. I'm listening to that Jaden Riding Around. I listen to that on repeat too, man.
Jaden Smith.
Yeah, listen to that on repeat. And these are kind of just like the recent ones. Like I think JID is like the oldest one. Let me see what else I got on here.
Word, man. But yeah, go ahead. Shout out some of your social. Shout out some of your social.
Yeah, man.
media.
Catch
Some
me on
places where
social
people
media,
can check
man.
you.
So Benji_FS. That's me. That's my personal IG account. Or you can catch me on Fruit Studios VA. Definitely go follow that. We're on Twitter as well. Fruit Studios VA. Yeah, man. Come check us out. Book your session online. Call in. Do what you gotta do.
FruitStudiosVA.com, right?
FruitStudiosVA.com.
Find niggas on Google.
Find us on Google, Yahoo, Bing.
Everything. Type it in.
Yellow pages if you're
Yep.
still fucking with them Jones. We in there.
Yep, my name.
Yeah,
baby.
definitely book a session. It's been a great time sitting down with you, Jeff, bro. Really
Yeah,
appreciate you
Sure,
coming
brother.
out here.
Hey,
Thank you, bro.
appreciate y'all, man.
Having us out here, honestly.
Yeah.
You ain't come nowhere.
For sure, many more. Hopefully, I'll be sitting on the side with y'all one day.
Yeah, for sure, brother.
Always, man. Danny, shout your socials for the peoples, man.
Yeah, man. Y'all can check me. Personal is OK_Ofe. That's OK spelled out OKAY_Ofe. Or check my page, my Strong Black Fathers page. It's very important
Shout out.
to dispel the mistruths out there about black fathers. So go check
Shout
that
out
out. There's
to
a lot of
that.
good stuff on there. Make you smile, make you laugh.
Beautiful, beautiful. Make sure you guys subscribe and follow the Flyer Population on all platforms. We're on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Follow us on social medias too. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Flyer Population, FLYYR, X Population. And thank you for tuning in, man. You guys can definitely go check out Danny's episode. That was the first episode we had talking about strong black fathers and how important it is for us to be having those conversations. And just look forward for the future episodes that we're going to have, man. It's going to be a beautiful season. A lot of beautiful people, a lot of flyer people, I should say. I'm really excited, man. So thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to the boy Raha sitting in here giving us that support that we need.
He up now.
Straight out here
He
from
up
LA.
now.
You know, we got Raha in the building. If you know, you know.
You know.